We need it multiple times a day. We can only go a little while without it. It is found everywhere and in multiple forms, but yet we have little control over how it's produced. We are like infants depending on our mothers for our nutrition. I'm speaking about food. And what is healthy for some of us doesn't translate to healthy for all of us. Let's look at how the USDA produces healthy. So, what is the difference between normal farming and organic farming? Well, when most of us think of organic, we think of no pesticides. But that's not completely true. Organic farms can use synthetic pesticides as a last resort to control pests. But first, they are required to use other methods like crop rotation, mulch, and bug traps and natural predators to control the pests. Whereas normal farming, they can use pesticides as a first resort and preventative methods. The way that animals or meat is produced on organic and normal farms are different. On an organic farm, an animal has to eat at least 30% pasture, graze. But on a normal farm, that requirement doesn't exist. And on organic farms, animals can only eat organic food, as per the Mayo Clinic. Fertilizers are also a big difference between organic and normal farming. On normal farming, there is a product that's commonly used called sewage sludge. And Science Direct confirms that our fear of what sewage sludge is are correct. It is the sewage we create, and it is repurposed for fertilizer on normal farms. But organic farms are not allowed to use this ever. Instead, they have to use the byproducts of their crop yield. They have to use compost that is normally produced on their own farms. And organic farms cannot produce GMOs as per Britannica. Normal farming, of course, can produce genetically modified organisms. So, is the government concerned about our health and safety? Well, let's think about this practically. When we think of organic, there's a synonymous phrase that fits it perfectly. That term is expensive. Organic food is 47% more expensive than conventional food, as per the Consumer Reports. So the government does not expect the average citizen to be able to afford this increase in expense. But GMOs do cause a lot of diseases, as per Robinson. So it kind of is still a big problem because organic farms cannot have GMOs and normal farms can produce as many GMOs as they want. And so what is the government doing about this? Well, the USDA doesn't require small farms to get organically certified, which can cost thousands of dollars, and it takes up to 3 years to convert a normal piece of land to an organic piece of land. So they understand small farms might not be able to afford this expense or might not want to pay this expense. So they can still call themselves organic, they just do not have the USDA organic seal. But how do we deal with all this? How do we incorporate it in our lives? Well, we need to know certain things about the labels. 100% organic is the only label that contains 100% organic material. So know a little bit more about what you're paying. If you're paying a high price, make sure it's as organic as possible. And know that if it's not 100% organic, you're still probably eating GMOs and some pesticides, as per the Mayo Clinic. And Robinson states that we need to know our clean 15, which are produce like onions and avocados and pineapples and sweet potatoes. You can eat those often from normal farms, and they do not absorb that much of pesticides, if any. But there are things to worry about, which are apples, spinach, regular potatoes, strawberries and grapes, and greens. We need to consider buying those organic because they absorb a large amount of pesticides. We are more like the animals that we eat than we realize. We have little control over how our food is produced and what we really have access to eat. But we can think a little bit more, and through buying more informed, healthier products, we can change the way things are produced. Thank you for your time.